Ahoy hoy, humans. Okay, I just heard Ilhan Omar, and if you don't know who she is, she's a Somali immigrant who is a Minnesota. No, she's like a U.S. fucking congressperson from Minnesota. Yeah, because she's with like AOC and all the other dumb bitches. Okay, so Ilhan Omar is like saying about these protests, like, oh, like we should give them their space, and then we find out what she really thinks because she's stupid. Ilhan Omar is a fucking idiot, but her daughter's definitely dumber because she's younger, but still has stupid parents, right? And her daughter says like, bring bricks and wood and stuff to the protest so we can destroy things. Like, I don't know exactly what the text said, but she was basically calling for violence. So Ilhan Omar's stupid brain talks to her stupid brain little girl, and the little girl actually hears what the mom says, right? The mom filters it for the public when she tweets, right? So she kind of like in an underhand way, like calls for violence, right? But then her daughter, who's actually hearing her words, isn't smart enough to put a filter on it, right? And just says exactly what the mom is saying, right? Because where are those ideas coming from, really? You know what I mean? They're coming from her mom. So Ilhan Omar is a foreign terrorist who is calling for violence and assisting in it. Okay, so that we all know who Ilhan Omar is. And of course, side note, AOC is as dumb as Ilhan Omar's daughter and will actually say what she really thinks too, which is great. Okay.
You mentioned Ilhan Omar, and I saw an interesting tweet from you about some activity that her daughter was engaged in yesterday. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, her 17-year-old daughter tweeted out uh, a list of things that some rioters in Minneapolis were requesting supporters and comrades to bring in things like plywood, sticks, rackets. When you put that in context of her mother seemingly approving of and asking for those who are mourning to have their space, it's really disturbing. I think it reflects on Ilhan Omar. She's a lawmaker and seems to have a very long history of really undermining the rule of law. And her daughter is tweeting out support for criminal violent behavior. I think, and then Ilhan Omar is not the only Democrat politician who seems to have like a soft spot for Antifa or somebody in their family having that. I'm reminding people of how Senator Tim Kaine's son was actually arrested and charged for his role in being part of an Antifa Black Bloc riot I believe it was also in Minnesota, actually,
Yeah.
at the state capitol. So I think over time, we're going to see more of this convergence of fringe Antifa extremism moving more and more into the mainstream. I'm really glad you brought up the media's treatment of the reopened protesters, because they were so viciously maligned, and not just maligned, but actually were the victims of